All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol ZOM, Zomedica Corp. And before we dive into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we see what the charts have to show, I do want to let every single investor and viewer be aware that I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss towards the end of the video that you definitely want to add to your watch list. And I want to quickly announce that I have a Patreon now. The link is down below in the description. By clicking on it, you will be redirected over to the Patreon and you will see all there is to offer over there. So I'm really excited for all the things we're going to do there and as I further develop it. So here we are. Zomedica Corp, sideways movement. This is looking healthy, right? But the overall market is kind of moving like this, downward trend, and now it kind of popped right back up. And as you can see, the S&P 500 is slightly, on the red. And next week is going to be very interesting, right? And then also we've talked about how Zomedica, we want to watch it carefully on how it's going to react going towards the end or the second half of February and then leading into March. So we want to watch it carefully. But so far, it's holding up pretty well above $2, right? And the lowest point that it reached in this downward trend was 202. So this is a really healthy sign so far from investor sentiment that has been getting in since this point and even on the way up and even at these highs here, right? Up at $2.50, almost $3. Everyone that has participated as an investor on these runs and in this area are showing the investor sentiment of staying bullish, right? Or hopeful that this can bring itself back up. One of the biggest things is we want to see this break through $3. It has to. If it doesn't break through $3, no matter how much hype or excitement there is with this stock, it's not going to move much further and it's going to kind of stay stagnant around the same areas. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. $3 needs to be broken through in the long run. So the 50-day moving average, 226. Anything above that, bullish. Anything below that, bearish. Now, our support and resistance are pretty narrowed in, so we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more zoomed out. So, 226, super important to keep in mind. So that's our 50-day moving average and our support, give or take from the hundreds and thousands place. They're a little bit off, but within the same range. So 226 is very important to watch carefully because if it gets broken through, the bulls have accomplished to lose two things: leverage and staying in their territory. And the bears have accomplished taking it down into their territory and gaining leverage by breaking through the 50-day moving average and the support. Now, if 226 gets broken through, the next point of reference I would look at is right here at this point of 218. So within that broad stretch there from 226 to 218, I would watch and see if the bulls are actually trying to reappear and if the bears are tearing this one down fairly fast. Okay, that's very important to keep in mind. And the closer this gets to $2, the closer it's getting to going to newer lows and new support levels based off the lowest point here being 202. Now, our resistance is the highest point before it continued to dip and slightly go below and hit our new low here below the 50-day moving average and then bounce right back up. So this resistance is important. 233 definitely needs to be broken through by the bulls. The bulls need to break through that, turn it into a support so they can pull upwards to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. And the next resistance level would be up here at 237. So I want every single investor to have that rain down to start off the week. Monday, Tuesday, we want to see how this reacts. But before getting there, 233 needs to be broken through, turn into a support so the bulls can pull away from the 50-day moving average and start to build some momentum upwards. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned to the end because I have a ticker symbol you won't want to miss. So for everyone that has made it to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is from the energy sector. We've talked about it several times in the past, coming weeks leading up to this point, and I really want us to touch base on it one more time before this week ends and the next week starts. And also, I want more investors and viewers, especially the new ones, coming across the channel to be aware of this one, because a lot of people may be overlooking this one, and there's so much value and potential moving forward. Now we're going to dive into its chart, but before we talk about everything about it, I want every single investor and viewer to be aware that I have a Patreon now. The Patreon link is down below in the description. If you click on it, you will be redirected and you will see everything there is to offer so far. But I am going to further develop it over time. It's just getting started. It's 3 days old. So for those of you that are interested on knowing about ticker symbols before I talk about them anywhere else, you will be able to find that information on Patreon. The link is down below. So let's go ahead and talk about the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list if you haven't already. CLNE, Clean Energy Fuels Corporation. Now, I had an investor talk about this stock and tell me, hey, how do you feel about this one? So it was either an investor that hadn't had the chance to see any of the times I've talked about it, or they were a new viewer coming across the channel. So I talked about it back here, okay? Like $9, almost 10. I talked about if we had a pullback, it'd be an even bigger opportunity. And if it didn't, you want to watch for consolidation or a run up in confirmation. So it did run up. It pulled right back down. I talked about it again here. It's looking like an opportunity. You want to see some consolidation. It certainly did that for a few days, and it started to run, consolidate, and run all the way up. Now, it's pulling back down. Now, the lowest point that it reached recently was like $14, okay? That was yesterday. So yesterday was a pretty tough day on the market. The market ran up and pulled right back down here for this one again. So why am I telling you guys to add this to your watch list? Well, if you've been in it since this point, or you've been watching it since this point, these are opportunities, because we already know how high it can go. And if you believe in the company, you've done your due diligence, you've done your research, and you want to make a rational decision based off of what you found, these are the times to tune in on this one. And if you haven't had the opportunity, this stock, all it's done is run up. So yes, the pullback is pretty strong. And just as much as it ran up from $12 to $20, it's already losing that gain. As long as it doesn't break through $12 or even $10, I think this stock is going to show some type of strength, but you want to watch it carefully. But so far, anywhere since we've talked about it, it's been holding up strong. All this movement, it's normal. It's bound to happen. Stocks go up and down. But in the long term, you want to look for stocks that continue to aim to hit newer highs. So I definitely recommend doing deeper due diligence on this one if you don't know much about it. And for the investors that have been watching it since we've talked about it, how do you feel about it? What do you think? You think this is a temporary pullback? Do you think this will end up back at $10? Or do you think this can hold up and consolidate anywhere around here, or even around this area, which is a little bit lower, but not end up back around here, like stay above that and then kind of consolidate till the next catalyst? What do you guys think? That's a question for all the investors that have been watching it since $10, and since we talked about it again at $10. How do you guys feel about this? And if you're coming across this for the first time, I definitely recommend digging deep into the company, all the information on it, and how this stock actually has reached from here to here to understand a little bit more of what's going on and why this stock has so much potential. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching.